EFL TV, proudly brought to you by Ferntree Gully Motor Group.
This is an absolute monster kicking and going all the way.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the EFL Agenda. It's crunch time now, leading up to finals. It's only 3 weeks away from finals in Division 3 and Division 4. 3 games. In Division 4, there's 5 teams looking for 4 spots. In Division 3, there's 6 teams looking for 5 spots. So a very tight race coming there. And, a bit of a change-up today. My off-sider, Ray Baird, he's gone for a bit of a nap. I think he maybe off to the old folks' home, have a bit of a sleep. So he'll certainly be back next week. But today I'm joined in esteemed company by the media manager of the EFL, Dyson Baker. Good afternoon to you, mate.
How kind of you. It's good to have an intro like that. Yeah, you know what they say, cometh the moment, cometh the man. Yeah. And I just thought I'd muscle my way into the EFL TV Agenda studio and see how we go.
Why not? We always need to bring a bit of life back to the agenda. As much as we love Ray, it's nice to change it up a little bit. So good to have you with us. And, well, we're going to kick straight into it. We'll start off with junior finals. We're 1 week in. It was a really successful first week. And elimination finals done and dusted. Now to the semi-finals this week.
Yeah, lost 25 teams last week due to obviously losing in the elimination finals. But it's still another massive week of junior Tuesday finals action. A couple of things to take note of during semi-final weekend. A reminder that there is no dogs or alcohol at any of the junior grounds, the 16 venues across the Eastern Football League. That was one thing that came up during the first week of finals. Right. A couple of pups around the place just for a bit of safety.
Tony Lockett wise, pigs running onto the ground,
exactly
getting
right.
in the way. Yeah, right, not what you want.
Also, a $5 admission fee will be paid at each one of the venues. Just a reminder for clubs to let people know, or people to let family members know, because we know that a lot of family breed like to get along to watch junior finals. I know that I invited half the Baker mob every time that I played in a final during juniors, so make sure that that's well and truly communicated to everyone you know. $5 at the gate, no dogs, no grog.
So keep those things in mind. It's certainly worthwhile getting down to junior finals, supporting the young kids, and great turnout last week. I really want to support our local clubs, so please get down there. Speaking of juniors, a former junior player in the EFL, Dyson, John Patton, we know he's going to be a gun in the AFL, and this week he's been named the AFL Rising Star. Nice little bonus for the AFL, I think.
Yeah, look, he's been fantastic. Obviously, suffered a fair few injuries when he was drafted in 2011. Was coming back from a knee injury then. In 2013, he actually suffered an ACL. So has suffered a fair bit of injuries. Played most games in season 2014. Yep. Was rewarded obviously last week with the Rising Star, which is fantastic for him. I know the St Simons Football Club, who were his junior club, are absolutely stoked with that. Another little tidbit of information was that the coach, Brett Petrie, of the under-14B team, St Simons team this year, is actually John's coach of the under-14 team that won the premiership back in 2007. Nice bit of continuity at the St Simons Football Club. But fantastic to see the AFL boys doing good in the big leagues.
Dyson, I mentioned in the start of the program, Division 3 and Division 4. Division 4, we did a bit of a run home with Ray last week, and it wasn't too much of a change. Still sides fighting for that 4th spot. Warrandyte, Sylvan, Park Orchards, Ferntree Gully and Forest Hill are the sides all fighting to get into that top 4. A good win on the weekend. Forest Hill just got over Sylvan by 4 points. But we look forward now to Division 3. Again, there's one side trying to sneak in and one side trying to hang on. But there's also a battle for that top 3 position, trying to get a double chance. So at the moment, it's Wanturna South, followed by Mitcham, Templestowe, Baronia, South Belgrave, and followed by the Basin. But the Basin has still a chance to get in. You've got sides like Templestowe and Baronia trying to get up to the top 3 spots.
Yeah, look, it couldn't get any closer, and we're another game down, and we're none the wiser on who's going to finish where. I mean, it was a fantastic work in the radio game for AFL Game Day. Wanturna South getting over the line against Mitcham. That throws a massive spanner in the works once again. We all thought that Mitcham were the incumbent, that they were the side that was touted to be. Obviously, going through half the season undefeated is probably a good start, but touted to be one of those sides that was a shoe-in for the grand final. But now with Wanturna South just showing maybe a few chinks in the armour, a couple of injuries as well down at the Tigers, it gets more and more interesting. And Templestowe under Rick Irwin are starting to find their form now, and look, it just gets more and more interesting week after week.
Yeah, I mean, we keep speaking about it, but now everyone knows Mitchum's firepower, then that's not going to get them over the line. Just those couple of players, they're certainly exploitable in different areas of the ground.
It was one thing to watch last week. We were at the radio game. Johnny Pignataro went down, one of their leading goal kickers in the second quarter. Didn't kick a goal for the afternoon. The best on ground, Ferntree Gully Motor Group best on ground went to Jackson Freeman, who played on Steve Pym all afternoon and basically shut him down, but also was able to run off him. So that's one thing that we've probably found a chink in Steve Pym's game. He's probably going to work the other way. Their forwards, Mitchum's forwards probably aren't defensive enough. And that was the thing, that on a small ground like Walker Park, the ball was just flushing out straight away.
Certainly some work to do for Scotty Homewood heading towards the finals. And just on that top four, obviously there's four sides trying to get a top three and trying to get a double chance. Those sides, Wantirna South, Mitchum, Tempe and Boronia. For me, I think Boronia, they're not going to get that double chance. Their attack's the issue for me. How do you feel about that?
Look, it's interesting. I mean, Boronia should be able to play their style of game in the last 3 weeks, which is probably a bonus for them. Once they get into finals and they come up against Mitchum or Wantirna South, they probably need to maybe rejig a few roles through a few midfielders and things like that, just to try and combat such forward power. With a high score, with two high scoring sides coming up against the Boronia and the Templestowe, it's going to be interesting to see that kind of defensive attacking battle that will go on during the finals. But I think if Boronia are going to have any chance of going deep in September, they need to finish third.
And I think that Wantirna South result shows that probably any of the sides, even in the six, trying to get for the top 5 positions, can win on their day, because maybe in other divisions, maybe bottom of Division 1, you say, all right, they probably can't win the premiership. But honestly, you look at that top 5 and go, probably any of those teams can win the premiership, and that's something that you don't often see in a final series.
The Basin just have this air of confidence around them that when they're on, they're on.
Yep.
And if they can get past South Belgrave in terms of ladder positions, all they need to do is throw out a Boronia. They get that confidence back. Whoever finishes fourth is going to have their work cut out for them if the Bears do make it in.
I think the really interesting thing about the Basin is their run home is Ringwood, which they probably win.
Yep.
And then they've got Mitchum at Walker Park, followed by Wantirna South at home. To make it, they have to win, obviously have to beat Ringwood, and then they've got to win one of those 2 games, you'd think, possibly both. Considering the last 2 games, South Belgrave, they've got Chernside this week, followed by, I think it's Boronia and Templestowe. So they're tough games as well. But if the Basin are to go in, they have to beat one of those top 2 sides. If they beat one of those top 2 sides, suddenly they're back in form.
Yeah.
And the same with South Belgrave. If they win one of those 2 sides, you go again, all right, they could beat anyone here. So I think once either of those sides gets into finals, as long as South Belgrave doesn't just scrape in by the Basin losing, then you go, well, this is the toss of the coin.
It's funny, you look at the ladder and you say that Wantirna South and Mitchum are probably, at this stage, if you had to put money on it, you'd probably say a Wantirna South Mitchum grand final.
Yeah.
Going on the next 3 weeks of football that we've got and the games that need to be played out, and where results could go, if there's an upset in any one of them, then that upsets the apple cart massively. If, like you say, if the Basin can win all 3 games, they've not only put themselves into the finals, but they've also beaten 2 genuine premiership contenders.
I mean, the great thing about the last round, it's going to come down possibly to the last round for that 5th spot. So you're going to have like an EPL, an English Premier League type scenario where you've got 2 teams playing at the same time, trying to get that last spot. And, the Basin might have to send someone to South Belgrave, and South Belgrave might have to send someone to Basin on the phone to Piggles, and on the phone saying we've got to kick more 3 goals. Percentage is an issue. So it's one of those interesting scenarios. We're certainly looking forward to it. We'll keep you up to date with that. And the next couple of weeks, they're going to determine who makes the finals in Division 3 next week. For this week, that is the AFL agenda. Dyson, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure, as always, Brad.
Nice to have you back in the chair again. We might leave Ray out for a few more weeks, keep him fresh for finals.
Could get quite cosy.
Yeah, exactly. It's not bad, is it? But this week, the radio game on 98.1 FM. It's Blackburn hosting Vermont out at Moreton Park.
Going all the way!